Welcome to Advanced Property and Asset Valuation. I am delighted to have you in this course. This course has been designed to give you a structured, practical, and professional understanding of how valuations are carried out in real-world assignments involving property like buildings, machinery, vehicles, office equipment, and other business assets. In practice, valuation is much more than attaching a number to an asset. It plays a central role in financial, legal, insurance, investment, and management decisions. Valuation is used when property is being financed, when assets are being insured, when investments are being assessed, when businesses are being acquired, when financial statements require supportable measurements, and when assets are being sold, disposed of, or restructured. One of the biggest challenges in valuation training is that many learners are introduced to theory without being shown how that theory is applied in actual professional work. This course is designed to bridge that gap. We will move from principles to practice and from concepts to real application. Throughout this course, you will see how valuation principles apply across different asset classes. These include land, buildings, plant and machinery, motor vehicles, office items, stocks in trade, and other assets. You will learn that different assets require different forms of analysis, different sources of evidence, and in many cases, different valuation approaches. This course does not stop at theory. It includes worked, realistic illustrations and practical examples to help you understand how valuation is actually performed. You will not only learn the principles behind valuation, you will also see how those principles are applied to actual property and asset valuation assignments in a logical and professional manner. You will be introduced to the major valuation approaches used in professional practice. These include the market approach, the income approach, and the cost approach. You will learn how each approach works, when it is most appropriate, and why one method may be suitable for one assignment and unsuitable for another. For example, when valuing a commercial building, the valuer may need to consider market evidence, rental income, location, condition, and highest and best use. When valuing machinery, the valuer may need to consider replacement cost, remaining useful life, physical condition, functional utility, and economic obsolescence. When valuing vehicles and movable assets, the valuer may rely more on market comparison, replacement considerations, depreciation, condition, and demand in the relevant market. One of the most important lessons in valuation is that the purpose of the assignment affects the method, the assumptions, the basis of value, and the final opinion. A valuation prepared for loan security is not approached in exactly the same way as a valuation for insurance. A valuation for financial reporting differs from a valuation for liquidation, disposal, acquisition, or rent assessment. This course will help you understand those distinctions clearly and apply them correctly. As you progress through the course, you will learn how professional valuers think. You will learn how evidence is gathered, how inspection supports analysis, how methods are selected, how different indicators of value are reconciled, and how a professional valuation opinion is formed and reported. By the end of this course, you should be able to understand the core principles that govern valuation practice. You should be able to distinguish between major bases of value and understand when each is appropriate. You should be able to explain and apply the major valuation approaches. You should also be able to interpret depreciation, physical deterioration, functional obsolescence, and economic obsolescence in a practical context. Most importantly, you should be able to connect valuation theory to real assignments involving actual properties and assets, supported by realistic illustrations and worked examples. Whether you are a valuer, an insurance professional, a banker, an engineer, an accountant, a property professional, an investor, or a student, this course is intended to give you a structured and practical understanding of valuation in action. My aim is not simply to help you memorize valuation terms. My aim is to help you think like a valuation professional, to understand why value changes, how evidence is assessed, how methods are selected, and how valuation opinions are formed in a way that is logical, supportable, and useful in practice. In the next lesson, we shall begin with the fundamentals by examining what valuation is and why it matters.